Welcome to the Bigger Room podcast. I'm your host, Mel Cobian.
And I'm Jill Bender. And on our last episode, which was our very first episode, we introduced ourselves. We talked a little bit about our backgrounds, where we were coming from, and why we wanted to create this podcast, The Bigger Room. So if you haven't listened to that, I do encourage you to go back and check that one out.
Now we want to announce the special winner of our giveaway, our very first giveaway for the Bigger Room podcast goes to Sarah the Affiliate Mama. So Sarah the Affiliate Mama, if you are listening to this, please send us a DM inside our Instagram page, The Bigger Room. Thank you to everybody who's entered the contest, and keep your eyes and ears open for our next giveaway.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about why an online business is the smartest move you can make in 2024. And maybe we talk about what brought us into the online space.
Yeah, that's a great place to start, actually. So I have a young son and I'm a single mom, and I was really worried when after I had him. And you have this little baby, and you had, for me, I had been surviving paycheck to paycheck my whole life. That's just how I lived. That was my comfort zone, really. And now that I had a small child with me, I started to panic. I'm like, wait, I need to be a grown up now, and I need to have more money so I can afford, one, the stuff that he needs minimum. And then two, I didn't want to just live on minimums. I wanted us to live a much cooler life than I definitely could afford at that time. So an online business made sense to me because you have such potential to make way more money than I ever could have scaled to in my at the current time in my career. I kind of felt like I was already as high as I was ever going to get at my job. And I'm watching all these people make money online, and it was crazy numbers. I mean, I would never ever think, prior to the whole online world, I would never think I would have a chance to become a millionaire. And now that I've gotten started, and now that I've had success and I know where I'm going, now that's an opportunity I would have never had without an online business. So that is what drove me to get started online. How about you, Mel?
I just wanted to highlight, Jill, that it's what we probably call like the epiphany moment. So I had my epiphany moment when the pandemic hit, because I lived in the Bay Area, and in the Bay Area was the first location in the US to get the notice of lockdown. And gyms, of course, were the first facilities that shut down. So I lost my job. And mind you, they were giving us like a monthly supportive, income stimulus check. I knew that I could not pay my bills. The bills were just coming up. It was stacking up. And it quickly hit me that we really are replaceable. So the only way to, be stable is to learn high income skills, get online and start your online business. So that's what lit my bum on fire, was the pandemic. And I think just from talking to people, a lot of people experience that epiphany moment that you are replaceable. So pain.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
2020 probably drove the most people in history to start looking online. Definitely.
Yeah. 100. And then like, if you sit down and you think about it, what if that never happened? I would probably still be stuck at my 9 to 5 being unhappy. What about you?
Well, my realization did happen earlier, but 2020 for sure gave me the most opportunity and the most drive. Both of us had these epiphanies of this possibility with the online business and being in an online space and taking control of our future, really, I think was, for me, I know it was me thinking I need to make more money, and the only way to do it is through online. And I learned throughout my experience that being online, I am my own empire, basically.
Yeah.
I am controlling all of it. The harder I work, the more money I earn. And for you, I think it was kind of, I don't have a job right now, or not really. Um, so
Right.
what were you looking at other than employment of, a supplement your income? What else were you thinking you would get out of an online business?
Flexibility. And I'm a military spouse, so actually during the pandemic in 2020, we were also in the process of moving to the East Coast. So not only was I relocating, I didn't have a job, but this is something that happens in my life. In fact, it's going to happen again this year, and I have no idea where I'm going to live. But knowing that I have my own online business to take with me and have that flexibility to work from anywhere, that's also what I was looking for.
That's huge, especially
It's
if you're
everything.
somebody that moves around. I'm kind of stuck where I'm at. I'm in Northern Illinois, and that's where my family is. That's where my friends are. And my son, being as young as he is, you would think now's the best time to move. You can get your roots somewhere else with him. But even when I talk to him, I'm like, don't you want to go live somewhere warm? Like, the winters here are terrible. We don't have enough snow to make it really fun. And it's just cold and it's not warm enough to go outside. But we're rooted here. And so being mobile isn't as cool for me as it is for you, but definitely having that flexibility to just pick up and go somewhere is huge.
So Jill, so what would you say to somebody who's seeking flexibility in their life?
Even though I just gave the example of me sort of being stuck where I'm at, so the flexibility isn't as cool for me as it is for Mel, it's definitely different. I wanted the flexibility of being able to run around during the day and do whatever I want while my son's at school. So if anybody follows me on Instagram, you know that I love to spend money and I love shopping. And I think throughout the summer, I was either out on the water kayaking, out spending money, getting facials, getting massages, just having the freedom, the time freedom to do whatever I wanted to do. It was really big for me. And then having the ability to jump in a car or jump on a plane and go on vacation, and I don't have to take off work or talk to any bosses about it. That was a really big one for me too. It's just the lifestyle that I wanted.
Lifestyle. I think that's the key word.
Yeah, it's definitely the lifestyle. Mel, you don't have any kids, so it's not something your work-life balance, I guess is what we'd call this, would be very different from mine, because mine is structured on my son's school schedule, and we are really restricted to, because we choose to, but we want to stick around our family, and so he can have his family when he's growing up. But for you, not having kids, what does that look like for you, other than being able to just move across the country if you had to? How do you spend your day, I guess? What's ideal for you?
I definitely am a person that has sticky notes. So I have like 12 sticky notes on my desk right now. Organization for me is everything. I would say I manage work-life balance by being intentional with the tasks that I have, so that I don't have to put in all the hours that I do right now to have a business. So I also have a fitness business that I own. And then I also have my online business. And then we're working on this podcast. So you'd probably think I am in my office all day. And I just want to highlight that it's the end goal, putting in the work now, that will give me that work-life balance that I'm seeking. So maybe that's what it's going to be for a lot of people who have kids or who work a 9 to 5. Because when I started this, I had a full-time 9 to 5 as well, and I still found the 2 to 3 hours a day to work on my online business. So in the beginning, for a lot of us, it will be about making sacrifices. But then that's when you inventory your time. How many hours are you spending watching Netflix? And you realize that you don't have a sense of work-life balance because you're wasting your time. So for me, inventorying my time literally like every hour of the day is how I find the work-life balance, by making sure that the actions I do take have an impact on the work-life balance I do want to have. And that's the truth.
That's inspiring. I am completely opposite, and you guys are going to see this. We are so opposite. I don't inventory anything. I am flying by the seat of my pants half the time. Like, drop my son off at school. I have a couple notes, that I made the day before about what do I have to get done on that next day. And so I'll go through and check things off my list, and then I'm out. Like, I am doing whatever. And sometimes it takes me all day to get those things off my list. And then I am sitting here a little bit longer, but that's just how I operate. So
I have 24. Yeah, I have 24-hour like sticky notes. Like, I will get this done in 24 hours. Because if I give myself a week, it'll take me a week.
For sure. I should actually give myself hour sticky notes. Like, that's what I need. I I've told Mel this a bunch of times. Same thing. If you have a week to work on something, you'll get it done the last day before the week ends. And that's just that's just the nature of being human. But yeah, I love when my day is a little bit more hectic. Like today, we're recording 2 episodes today. And so my time was limited. I was at my son's school for a party. And I knew I still wanted to get XYZ done this morning. So I was able to just focus and get those things done because I knew I didn't have all day to get them done. And you kind of figure that out though, right? As you start transitioning from working a 9 to 5 and then taking on your own work with your own online business, you learn how you work and how it works best and how to get your tasks done. Either that or you don't, and then you fail.
It's about moving the needle forward.
Mel and I both do affiliate marketing. That is where we came together. So were you always looking at affiliate marketing? Or I know with working online, there are thousands of opportunities available, like thousands, especially during 2020 when you got started. There was more opportunity than there has ever been and might even be than there ever will be. Really is the best time. So what line were you trying to?
I wanted to build my own business because I never wanted to feel vulnerable again because of what I experienced during the pandemic. My stability was gone. And so with also adding the fact that I'm moving constantly every 2 to 3 years, I needed something that nobody could take away. So for me, when I was looking for ways to make money online, I was looking for ways to start a business online versus just a side hustle.
Okay.
Right. And so then that's when affiliate marketing, it's the most beginner friendly business model. So
Absolutely.
I saw what people were doing with this and it was changing their lives. And I was like, there's just, I could do this too. So that's why I decided to go into affiliate marketing, but I wasn't looking for it. It was a business model that made sense. And I went for it. What about for you?
I think affiliate marketing does find you.
Yes.
I think a lot of us, we do start and we don't even know what affiliate marketing is. And so for me, I started in 2017 with a drop shipping store. And I think at that time that was really, really popular. And so it was everything I was seeing was pushing that. And of course, the more you look at it, the more you're being shown it. But I did that for a few months basically and decided that was not the path I wanted to take. Then I didn't do anything. And in 2020, affiliate marketing kept popping up. And TikTok was getting really big at that time. So I'm just scrolling through TikTok at night and I keep seeing affiliate marketing. And to me, it sounded like such a scam. I was like, there's no way. There is no way people are making all this money. Everybody sounds so over the top and like, oh, yeah, I just, made XYZ and I did it overnight. And so I kept pushing it off, not believing it. And then finally I decided, maybe it's not a lie. This one person, I finally believed one person. I'm like, all right, I don't think this guy is lying. I'm going to try out what he's offering. And then I really saw all the potential and I saw that it is not a scam. It 100% is legit. And you're right. Like you said, it is beginner friendly, like nothing else, beginner friendly.
Why do you think people immediately think scam when they see results like this online?
I think because we're not used to seeing people make, the only time we have in history that we've ever seen people just suddenly make, $4,000 in one day is because they won a scratchy or they won a lotto ticket or something. We've never seen that in history because we didn't have the internet. So I think that's the biggest reason. It's not something our brains are used to or comfortable seeing that. So we think they're lying.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow is what I tell people because in order for them to even believe that they can achieve the same, you and I have had crazy results and people think that we're lying, which we would never do. But it's a hard pill to swallow because you first have to admit that it's even possible. And when you do admit that it's possible, then you start asking yourself like, what am I doing? What am I actually doing with my life here? So Jill, you just said you created some journals 2 years ago and you've made it some sales. How would you compare creating journals maybe 2 or 3 years ago compared to now with the rise of AI?
with creating journals, I was telling Mal that I had I think around 2021, when I hadn't really hit it big yet with affiliate marketing because of my own faults of not being consistent or even working hard on it, I tried creating journals. That was a very hot online business, online opportunity. And creating journals at that time, there was more to it than just let me give you an example of this. Creating journals and then also creating t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff with logos and whatever you want. You could create a design and throw it on a shirt and sell it on Redbubble. That's where I threw my stuff on there. I occasionally make money from both of these. It's not very much. Definitely not telling anybody about it because I'm making pennies. But now with the rise of AI, the opportunity got even easier, I guess. Because when you do create your journal, when you do create your shirts and stuff, it's more than just putting the creativity into that. I have a friend who she would sit there every week. I would talk to her and she's like, I'm making another shirt. I'm making another shirt. I'm like, do you have any of them on the site for sale yet? And she's like, not yet, because I have to write, this is what she said, because I have to write a little sales caption for each one. And I don't know how to do that. And I said, okay, well, why don't you work on one of them first and then create all your shirts? Practice on one and make sure you can make it something you can sell instead of spending all these hours creating shirts that you're never going to sell. And I can tell you right now, if I call her today, she still doesn't have a single shirt listed because she got hung up on that one little part. But now with AI, she can easily go into something like ChatGPT and ask it very specifically, write me a little sales pitch to sell a t-shirt that has, this picture on it. And it made it so much better for her, for everybody.
It's analysis paralysis, people waiting for the perfect moment to take action. And Joe, is the perfect moment ever going to come?
Never, ever.
No, your moment, your perfect moment is today. Do something today. That's the only now. Yeah, right now. It's the only way that you're actually going to get that momentum. It's not going to be perfect, but you need to get over the fear, because that's what I realize people have. It's just the fear of failure or the fear of being judged. And AI can do so much. Right now, with AI, there's ways that you can have organic reach. And so for those of you who have no idea about marketing in general, but you're thinking about getting online, ChatGPT is a amazing beginner-friendly marketing tool that you can use to your advantage, whether you're creating a blog with your favorite affiliate links to your favorite products. There's so many ways to really make money online, and ChatGPT can give you a ton of them within minutes. It's just a matter of you, again, not having that analysis paralysis of, oh, I need to have a website. Oh, I need to set this up. No, just figure out what you want to do and take action every single day. And so AI has really, especially ChatGPT, has, I think, grown so many businesses in just 1 year. It did for us, right, Joe? Organically. Neither of us have ever spent a penny on ads, but because of using tools like ChatGPT and other AI tools, we've been able to just get millions of views in months into our business.
And talk about analysis paralysis. Even myself, we started hearing about ChatGPT earlier, and probably I'm going to say not till like middle of 2023 is when I started really listening to people talk about this. And I still didn't use it. I knew it was there. I knew it was an option for me, and I still wasn't using it. And it wasn't until probably the last quarter of the year that I tested it out. And now I don't even think a day goes by that I'm working and I'm not using ChatGPT. And no, this is not a sponsored ChatGPT video or podcast.
We could do a whole podcast episode on ChatGPT.
Right? And how many times can we say ChatGPT in 1 hour?
Take a shot for every time.
There we go. But with ChatGPT now, it is a daily part of my life. Anything I'm working on, I'm like, you know what? Let me just throw it in here really quick and see if I can get a better result than when I'm trying to produce myself. and it makes my time go by so much faster. And some of that stuff that I would stress out about, how do I do this? It just took care of it for me. So yeah, AI is huge.
Yeah,
Changing game.
for me, I think it cuts business expenses as well, because if again you learn how to use it correctly with the proper prompts, and there's just so many online courses that you can take to learn how to properly use ChatGPT. There's so many YouTube videos. So investing your time in learning how to actually master ChatGPT, it's going to cut costs that you're probably freaking about, like marketing, email marketing specifically, copywriting. So all these objections that people have with starting an online business, that's the beauty of having an online business, is you can always adapt to what's happening.
And for those of you that do want to start something online and you don't know all the opportunities, one of the opportunities that just popped in my head is that you could literally take ChatGPT, and ask it to write you, like 20 emails about XYZ, and then you could go onto Fiverr and sell those emails. So now you just became the expert on the emails, even though you didn't even write those emails. And that's only like barely a percentage of the possibilities that you could create. You could create something out of nothing, really.
See, Jill just came up with a business idea, guys.
There you go. Get started.
I love ChatGPT.
It is awesome. And Mel, why do you think it's so easy to not? We know why it's easy to get started online. I mean, really the hardest part is getting started and making yourself step out of your comfort zone. But why do you think it's so easy for people to, once they make that decision, once they get started, why is online such a success? Why is it so simple for people to become millionaires?
It's because of the global reach, Jill. When you are posting on social media, it's not just the people in your town that are watching the video, it goes worldwide. So getting over that fear of posting online, ultimately can lead to reaching millions of people.
Think about how many people started selling stuff on eBay, on Etsy. You got little Grandma Susie who's knitting some things. And now her granddaughter comes in. She's like, we can sell this stuff. Throw it on Etsy. And it's not only just in their community anymore or through friends and family. Now they are reaching everywhere that Etsy reaches. And I don't know where Etsy reaches, but I imagine it's to a lot of different countries. And the opportunity is just, it's incredible. Even Grandma Susie can make some money online.
You know what's funny, Joe? That's actually my grandma's name.
Is it?
Yeah, so being online gives you that opportunity to reach multiple people without having to spend money on ads. Because that's another common question, is how much do I have to spend? And in reality, you can get started today. You can go on Canva, create a guide, create something that you're passionate about, and just post it on your social media. But that alone, right, which in other episodes we could talk about our best marketing tips, creating content and driving people organically is the best way to make money online.
100%. And you can, but you can. That's the other beauty about getting started online, is you don't have to have an education of any sort. There is a guy that I follow very closely online, and I think he made his first million when he was 17 years old and moved to Dubai. 17. He hadn't gone to college yet. He hadn't done anything. You don't have to have an education to do this either. And so that opens up a even broader audience that can get started online.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing too about being online versus, staying at your 9 to 5 is that that's how you build multiple income streams. So as someone who's maybe on the fence, you right now probably just have that one income stream, which is your 9 to 5, and you're trading your time for money, or you're trading a service for a paycheck. Whereas online, that's how you start building those multiple income streams.
If you're afraid to get started because you don't think there's anything special about you, you don't think you have any special skills, this does not apply here. Online businesses is for anybody that wants to do it. I promise you, there is something you can do. When I started creating journals, I had my niece, because that was during 2020. Actually, I remember now, because she was sitting over here working or doing her remote learning. And I kept saying, as soon as you get done with the class, do you want to help me design this journal cover? And so I was like, if I'm going to make this journal cover and you're going to help me with it, I will give you part of the profits. You can start making money right now, and you're 12 years old. This is so easy. We can all do this. And same thing with the t-shirt designs and stuff like that. That was something so easy. And especially for somebody that age, they like being creative at that age for sure. And those are just two of the little things. And I was following another guy online very closely during 2020, and he has so many multiple streams of income, all from online. He has t-shirts that he created 5 years ago that just continuously bring him income. He has journals that bring him income. He has affiliate marketing. He has his own programs. He's an affiliate for other programs. All that revenue keeps coming in. I couldn't even begin to name all of the stuff, but he lived in a van. And so he traveled around and he made TikToks about him and his wife being in this van, and all the products inside that van he talked about on his TikToks. And guess what? He was an affiliate for all the companies that made these products. And so those companies were sending him money, or he was what is it called when, look, he was sponsored by some of those companies just to mention it. So now he's getting sponsorship money. The money coming in from all these different places, and you just build those and you just stack them throughout your online journey. You are not married to one thing. So you try something because that sounds like the best one. You start learning as you're going, and you might learn that there's a better one out there or another one, like we're doing this podcast right now. Who would have ever thought we were doing a podcast? Even 3 weeks ago, I would have never thought I would be doing a podcast especially with you right now. Just goes to show this stuff just kind of develops as you're developing.
Exactly. And Jill and I are doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Right. I just wanted to touch base on there are really 3 ways to make money online. And the first one is called a job. It's where you do something for other people who will pay you money. The second one is called a business, whether you are creating something yourself or providing a service. So like, for example, not only do I have an online business, but I also provide a service as a personal trainer, but it's mine, right? Nobody can take it away. So highlighting what Jill was saying, you might have a passion that you want to go all in on yourself. And maybe it starts with you just even having the belief that people will pay you for that service, or whatever it is you're creating. For me, that was something that I had to turn on, was, are people really going to pay me as opposed to paying a gym? That right there is like a mental battle that I think a lot of people have to overcome as well. What do you think about that, Joe?
100%. That is absolutely correct. And when I got started, I started posting videos. When I started with affiliate marketing, I was posting videos onto TikTok, but I think I definitely came across as somebody that people really, I don't think I gave anybody a reason to want to follow me, I guess is what I'm saying. And then as I sort of took a different route throughout the summer, got distracted, it got nice out. One of my favorite stories to tell, and really was a huge pivotal moment for me with my online journey, was in the summer of 2020. I always am trying to lose weight. That's been a struggle throughout my entire life as an adult. And I was walking. It got nice here. Again, I'm in the Chicagoland area. It's once spring comes and we get those nice days, everybody's outside suddenly. And so I was walking and I wanted to create this consistency of walking. And I thought, what better way than to start a TikTok channel and see if I could get people to follow my journey, thinking maybe somebody is going to want to see me lose weight and, change my life. And I had seen other TikTok channels doing that, so I figured, why not me? It was slow and I wasn't consistent even with my walking schedule, especially if it wasn't nice the next day. So what I did was, one day I was outside and I was walking around and I thought, what if I create a 100-day challenge for myself? And I have to walk for 100 days, and I'm going to tell everybody on TikTok. And at that time, it was like 1,000 people following me. So I'm going to tell everybody, my 1,000 fans. And so I so I shot a couple scenes of me walking because I had heard transitions in videos were really good. And I put the video together and I said something about I'm going to have this 100 days of walking challenge. And I gave 3 rules as to what I had to follow. And I really did this to keep myself consistent. I had no idea I wasn't trying to inspire others. I wasn't doing anything other than it was my own selfish, like, here's what I want to do to make myself walk. And I posted the video. I think it was around 2:00 in the afternoon, 3:00 in the afternoon. And by the time I put my son to bed at 7:30, I looked at my phone and I saw all these alerts from TikTok. And I was like, what is this? And I saw all these comments and all these likes and all these shares and all this action happening. And the first thing I thought was, whose account am I looking at? What is this? And I was so confused because I'd never seen all these little notifications. And I quickly realized I was looking at my own account. And it was all these people there were some people who were supporting me and cheering me on, but the majority of these people were inspired and they wanted to join me on this 100-day challenge. They were so excited. And I was getting people messaging me that they don't even walk to their mailbox. Like, they're excited. They want to start doing something. And I was like, well, then make walking to your mailbox your challenge. You do that for a week and then see if you can walk farther. And I was having conversations daily with people that were I was inspiring to people. And that was my big moment where I'm like, whoa, I do have something to offer people. And I had no idea I did. And so that really empowered me to want to take this further.
That's beautiful, because like you felt that by sharing your story that you're helping people, right? And so for those that are listening, that fear is holding them back, or posting on social media is holding them back, what tips or advice would you give to them to start overcoming that fear?
The first thing I actually would say, Mel, is that to succeed online, you do not have to post videos. So don't think that that is your only avenue and the only way you can make money online. Like, we've already touched on a handful of them. You definitely don't have to.
For any listeners right now, you have these objections probably going through your mind, and those objections are fear, and say them out loud. Like, I get sometimes people asking me, Mel, what about taxes? And I'm just confused by that question. Like, what do you mean, what about taxes? You're telling me you're not starting an online business because you're afraid about taxes? It blows me away, because that lack of knowledge is the reason you're not taking action. So it's not a lack of opportunity. It's a lack of knowledge, which means that there's a solution.
I think it's people trying to think of the worst case scenarios and giving themselves an excuse as to why they can't start. Such as taxes.
If you give yourself that objection and you accept it, you're giving yourself an out to never start. It's so easy to do that. And people focus on the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is you don't know how to do your taxes, but there's a solution. You'll have the means to learn and become educated. I've learned a lot just this year. And we focus on the best case scenario. What's the best case scenario if this works out? I'm still in disbelief with what I have been able to accomplish the last year.
I am also. I can't believe, that this is me. This is my life. Yeah. But I do want to I want to touch on one thing you said, and it's again shows you and I and our yin yang of thinking. Is when you said you don't know how to do taxes, guess what? Now you have the means and you'll learn and this and that. And all I was thinking was, now you'll have the means, you just can pay to hire somebody to figure it out for you. Which is the road I always like to take. Like, if I can pay somebody to do it for me, then I will pay them to do it. And now I absolutely can afford to pay somebody to do it. And that was one of the first things I looked for last year. But do not let taxes hold you back. Like, that's a good problem to have if you run into that down the road because you were so successful.
So yeah, taxes definitely, there's a solution. And I think that's another mindset thing, right, Joe, is having that mindset of finding a solution. If you are stuck, if you do decide to start your online business, go into that online journey, focus on always finding a solution to move forward. Because a lot of people give up. The moment they find resistance, they give up. And a lot of it, I realized just from being in this online space for over a year, but also being a business owner for 4 years, is that you have to, everybody comes from like this employee mindset where you put in the work, you get a paycheck at the end of the week. As an online business owner, it doesn't work like that.
I think for any business owner, it probably doesn't work like that.
So you get to choose your hard. So do you want to, work for 40 years, a 9 to 5, maybe, get a raise every year, 25-cent raise, or,
Right.
which is just unbelievable. Or do you deal with this resistance, get over the fear, put in the work, and then, have the benefits, live the best case scenario for years to come? You get to choose your hard.
Yeah, and even if you're working the 40 hours for 40 years and you're getting the paycheck, sure, you're probably thinking, well, it's a reliable income. But for 40 years, do you want to struggle for, because now that income is never going to be enough to do what you want to do. And then you retire, you're older. Now you're living on whatever set income, if you even put any money away, if you put any money into, something that would grow exponentially and give you a good retirement. There's so many people that retire, and one, they don't know what to do with themselves, and two, they can't afford to do anything else, like at all. I know somebody who was considered wealthy my entire childhood, looked up to her. She retired, and she does not know how to spend her money now because she has always had the mindset that she wants all this money for retirement. And so it's always been, I'm investing it, I'm putting it here and here and here. And now it has to switch roles on her. And she's supposed to start spending some of the stuff she's been putting away. Like she did it well through her working career, but she doesn't know how to switch her own mind to say, hey, it's okay. Now you can start using some of the stuff that you saved for. And she's super stingy on even using that money. And I look at that and I'm like, no, I never want to do that. I want to have all the cool stuff now and I want to have all the cool stuff later. And yeah, I changed my mind absolutely to believe that I can have all of it then and
Right.
now.
And you said something interesting that you choose to believe. If you don't have the abundant mindset that you can have everything that you want, is the scarcity or abundant mindset, and you choose to believe to live in abundance. And so you live
Yeah.
your life and you take actions that do give that to you in your life. So for our listeners, just ask yourself, how are you living your life? Because it could be that could be the switch for you. Just tapping into, am I living from a place of abundance or am I living from a place of scarcity? And thoughts are attraction. So if you are not wanting to spend or invest in yourself, invest in your business, honestly, it's going to take a lot of self-work to get to become the person that you want to become.
And I do have a really good suggestion that I make a lot to my listeners, to my followers, and to even people who did get started. I still say this to them, especially if you have a scarcity mindset and you don't know how to change that. I could talk to my mom over and over again, and she does want to change it, but she doesn't understand how to. The best thing I can recommend is to pick up a book on mindset. Pick up a book on the law of attraction. Pick up a book on how to attract wealth in your life, and you are going to learn the skills. Even if you think it's hokey and it sounds like magic or whatever, just do it. If you have any interest in changing your life, that is 100% probably where I would start. And I wish somebody would have told me that back in the day, because I think I probably would have. It took me from 2020 to 2023 before I saw any kind of significant money. And it wasn't until the beginning of 2023 that I started listening to books on how to attract money. I truly think I was just repelling it all the time because I grew up with a certain mindset and I didn't know how to change that. So books are super powerful if you give them a chance, and that will help you set your mind to create a abundance lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah, to take action.
To take action, to believe that you can do it, really.
That's what it is. Belief, aligned action, you'll get results.
So Mel, having said all of this, why is starting an online business in 2024 the best move you can make?
Well, first of all, if you're looking for that flexibility, living that laptop lifestyle, working from anywhere at any time, being your own boss, that is number one. Another reason is really managing that work-life balance. Again, putting in the work is super important, especially in the beginning. However, it's going to set you up to have the work-life balance that you wish to achieve. With AI, it's super beginner friendly to get online now with all the tools like ChatGPT that we talked about.
And besides ChatGPT, because I know we talked about that one a lot, there are other tools and they're free to use. And you could even start playing with them right now, like Canva.com. Canva is another staple in my business. I can go on there and create anything. I can go on there and create the journal covers. I can go on there and create t-shirt designs, but I can also, what I go on there for now is to create like the logo. I know, Mel, we use that to create the logo even for the podcast. For some of my content, I will even make videos right in there. Canva has a ton of options, and you can get in there for free. And you can still, they have so many options even for their free version. And no, this is not sponsored for Canva either, but it could be, Canva, if you're listening. Yeah, there's never been a better time to be able to become financially independent and gain all that time and financial freedom for yourself, because we have so many tools available. And I think 2024, we're going to see a lot more with the AI, even than we started to see toward the end of 2023. I think it's just going to explode and create even more opportunities. So I definitely think this is going to be your year. If you're thinking about doing this, like, this is the year for you, and it's only going to get better. So jump on now and start, really.
Yeah.
You won't regret it. That's the thing. You won't regret it. You do not have to invest money to get started. There's literally nothing you're going to waste other than a little bit of time to decide if this is a route for you. It's free to start and to.
Jill, another thing is the global reach. So even on Instagram, there's 2 billion monthly users. That's a crazy number.
And TikTok, I heard there's 1 billion that log onto that platform every day. That's an insane amount of people. And really quick, let me touch on this. When I used to get started and I would think small, and I would think, who's going to watch my content? There's other people doing the same thing I'm doing. You have to think 1 billion people are logging on. There's no way they're watching everybody that's doing what you're doing. There's going to be somebody, and you're going to attract your audience out of 1 billion people. You are not that. You are not that small. Don't.
And for those of you that are thinking, gosh, I really want to take action, but I don't want to show my face, we have a treat for you. You want to tell them, Joe?
Yes, we do. I'm so excited about this. Our next episode, next week, episode number 3, we have a special guest. She has brought herself from being a stay-home single mom, not working, to earning over 6 figures in 2023, and she did it in 6 months.
And she has some amazing faceless tips for you guys. She has grown brand new accounts recently and is getting thousands of views daily without showing her face.
So for those of you that the idea of getting online is holding you back because you just can't imagine putting yourself online, this is for you. You definitely don't want to miss this next episode.
Thank you for joining the Bigger Room podcast. I'm your host, Mel Cobian.
And I'm Jill Bender, and we're so excited that you are here with us, spending your time, and we can't wait to see you in the next episode.